Tonight on CTV News, a major shake-up at the Christchurch City Council with 60 jobs under review, and red zoners beg for key services to remain operational.
Broadcasting across Canterbury, from the CTV studio, this is First at 5.
Good evening, welcome to CTV News, now streaming live every night at ctv.co.nz. In late breaking news this afternoon, 60 jobs will go under a major Christchurch City Council restructure. Chief Executive Dr Carling Edwards has made the announcement as the restructure to lead the organisation to the next period, and this is as Sarah transitions its responsibilities as well. News Talk CB News reports no specific staff or departments have been targeted, but Ms Edwards says the proposed change would span the entire council. However, frontline staff at this stage will evade the firing line. Staff were made aware of the proposal earlier this week. They will have the opportunity to comment before a final decision is made at the end of October. To the day's other top story now, Christchurch red zoners are urging the Christchurch City Council to rethink its plans to reduce key infrastructure in the red zone. The council is discussing reducing water, roading and wastewater to around 74 homes still occupied in the red zone land. But residents say the government's unlawful ruling over red zone land has put residents in the position they're in today. Here's Chelsea Daniels.
Brooklands residents have had enough as council decides on the fate of services being rendered to residential red zones around the city today. Meet Stephen Burke, a home and landowner in Brooklands who currently lives in a red zoned home. He's calling for a re-evaluation of all red zoned residential properties. Burke says he has a major issue with the zoning based on what is read in the Canterbury Earthquake Recovery Act 2011, in which it states, "There is no right of appeal against a decision of the Minister or Chief Executive acting or perpetrating to the Act under this Act."
Take the red zoning off our land, off the privately owned land. So that takes the compulsory acquisition off us so we can move on with our lives. While they have the red zoning on us, that means they can compulsory acquire our land.
However, in a statement from Sarah, they assure that there are no plans for compulsory acquisition in the red zones. Sarah has also stated that rezoning is not an option by saying there is no intention to revisit the zoning process. There has already been a review completed of the original zoning decisions. Burke owns 2 lots of land next to his house, with his parents' land behind his back fence. He says it's bizarre how his parents' land is green zoned, along with his lot of land one door down, but his house, a mere 30-second walk away, is classed as red.
The red zoning's got to stop as a great big group of things, and it needs to go to the individual areas and see what the issues are in those individual areas, or if they actually have an issue in the individual areas. And you'll find there's no issue here because this bit of land here is green. And it's right next to the bit that's red, and there's no way an earthquake or a natural disaster will stay out of here and not go into here.
A boulder was placed in the middle of the red and green zone land by residents as a reminder that there isn't much difference between the 2 lots of land.
I've had engineer reports, CPT tests, everything done. There's nothing wrong with the land. There's nothing wrong with this bit of land, so there's nothing wrong with that bit either. You can build anywhere in Christchurch. I mean, some of the worst affected areas, like I was showing you in Fendleton, have got the same lateral spreading and liquefaction and have dropped the same as areas in Brooklands, and they were green zone. It doesn't make sense.
The Crown has recently reopened the original offer to owners of insured residential properties, including the ones in Brooklands. The offers are open until November, and Burke says there will be a few homeowners persuaded this time.
It does get you down a bit that your property and that the value of your house has dropped and they've devalued it. Hey, look. You try and deal with the government, with Sarah, with the council and with insurance companies for 5 years, and it does whittle you down. And some people have now again, a few have had enough, and they'll take the offer and they'll go somewhere else.
Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.
To some positive news now. The Christchurch Innovation Precinct has been given another jolt of life, quite literally, with the Lighting Lab project starting up in the greenhouse. Here's Chelsea Daniels.
Lightning Lab has struck Christchurch with a bang, with 10 startup technology companies getting the opportunity of a lifetime. The companies were selected from a large pool of entrants, which was eventually narrowed down to just 20, then chopped in half to the final 10.
So Lightning Lab is a startup accelerator for high-tech companies. We take 10 companies through a 12-week program to validate their ideas further, to get them traction and to get them to pitch for finance at the end on demo day.
Over the 12-week program, the companies will receive over $1 million of free services, including introductions to a network of investors and practices from around the globe. Over 70 mentors from around the country have volunteered their time and expertise to help teams reach their final goal.
It's critical, you've got people with expertise and been there before, and they're helping the teams try to think differently, to be motivated, and to help them through the program.
And it's the first time the program has been held in Christchurch, with applicants coming from all across the country.
This is the first time in Christchurch. They have run one in Wellington, actually twice in Wellington and once in Auckland, the first time in the South Island.
A number of Christchurch applicants were successful in snagging a spot in the program.
It's not only a Christchurch thing, we've got people from all around New Zealand apply for it, and we've got teams from Dunedin and Auckland as well. But you do certainly get more local people having the program in your city, and so it's important both for the Innovation Precinct, for Greenhouse and for the city.
Historically, over half of accelerator startups accepted into these programs are successful in raising capital in the next round of funding.
Potentially higher than the 50%. It's just sort of like an indication to the teams. People like to know what opportunity there is, and it's based on previous programs, which I think actually have hit higher than 50%. So definitely, it's definitely an opportunity for people to really take their idea forward internationally in most cases.
And it's an industry that is gaining a lot of headway, especially in New Zealand.
The tech sector is needing staff all the time, so one of the biggest issues companies have here is trying to get qualified staff. And so there's a number of things that people are doing to try and help that. There's a group called Code Club, which tries to get young people, like I think 12 and 13, to look at technology as a career opportunity. And obviously programs like ours is sort of stimulating of tech and startups as well.
The startups are in their second week of the 12-week program, and their home for the next couple of months is the Greenhouse. Located in the heart of the Innovation Precinct, Canterbury Development Corporation has built the new space as a collaborative hub, a place focused on supporting and commercialising small businesses. Chelsea Daniels, CTV News.
Canterbury Police used road spikes to stop a driver who led police on a 45-minute police chase this morning. The driver was caught near Rakaya, more than 80 kilometres from where the pursuit started in Middleton. When the driver failed to stop, multiple police cars were involved in the chase and 2 people were eventually arrested. Some local high school students got the chance to tour some of the new rebuild projects popping up in the CBD today, discovering a future in the ever-demanding trades industry. Here's Jared McCulloch.
Taking a look around the Justice Precinct, there's still a long way to go, and also to get new recruits on board to help put the city back together. A local training organisation has designed a construction tour as part of Trades Week to give young students the chance to see up close the elements around the industry.
It's about celebrating that sector and showcasing it to potential career seekers as a viable career option.
This is the first time a tour has been held for high school pupils, seeing 60 students from around Christchurch take up the opportunity, with tradies being in high demand.
We're trying to lift the profile of trades across the whole country and really bring attention to what is a national issue around a lack of people going into the trades currently. We've done little local tours like this across the country to get a feel for how it would work in previous years, but this is the first time we've ever done it at a national level.
He says the idea around pupils needing to go to university out of school needs to change to help with supply and demand of workers that can be spread throughout the industry, and giving the students the knowledge to make other career choices.
It seems that a whole generation was kind of pushed towards university as that was the right thing to do, and if you didn't do that, you kind of weren't really going to make something of yourself. But you know, these days we're kind of feeling the effects of that, and that's what the Got a Trade Week is all about.
There's various opinions of career pathways. Trades have always been around, and there's always been a number of people moving into this industry. But I think what we're seeing now is that more and more people see the value of this industry and what it can do for themselves personally, giving them the lifestyle they want and so forth.
Canterburyans are well aware of the rebuild that's at stake, especially in the central city, where millions of dollars is being spent every day to bring Christchurch back on its feet. A local manager says the focus needs to move to Kiwis being able to chip in.
There's never been a better time to enter this industry. There's lots of opportunities, a range of different jobs that people can enter. We want to show those students the different opportunities that are out there and the range of jobs.
And he says it'll help get more people working.
There is a lack of skilled people, but I think the key thing is if we can get our young people looking at trades as a viable career pathway, then we'll help sustain those numbers and meet those numbers that are required.
It's hoped the construction boom here in the city will hopefully get more keen workers on board to bang and build the best city possible. Jared McCulloch, CTV News.
Wonderful, positive stuff indeed. Well, still to come here on CTV News, broadcasting live at ctv.co.nz. A local icon is set to take to the stage in an upcoming production of Spamalot. Welcome back to CTV News. It's been a long wait for Christchurch showbiz, with its latest production of Monty Python's Spamalot set to hit the stage next week. The well-known Broadway show was booked for 2011, but now 4 years on, the award-winning show is set to premiere shortly with a local icon taking centre stage too. Here's Jared McCulloch.
The costumes, the props, the Broadway show, the movie.
Violence inherent in the system. Shut up! Oh. Come and see the violence inherent in the system! Help! Help! I'm being repressed! Bloody peasant! Oh, what a giveaway. Did you hear that? Did you hear that, eh?
And a wizard?
I'm playing the role of the historian, sort of a narrator, who comments on the action and occasionally gets involved.
It's not the first time the Wizard of New Zealand has appeared on stage, but it's the first time any wizard has played a role in Monty Python's Spamalot.
I was so excited about having the wizard as part of our show.
He saw me chatting to some tourists, and as I was talking about Arthurian romances and the role of wizards, he thought, good heavens, we should be bringing him into the production.
It's a role he was born to do, and even one of the Broadway show's writers was blown away by the idea.
Harry Idle was asked, would it be all right if a wizard did the role of the historian narrator? And he was tickled to think when he found out there was a real wizard in Christchurch and not some weirdo calling himself a wizard. And so I've got this strange role. I'm a commentator on the action, so like an historian, I give the date and what's happening and so on, which is perfect for me because I'm both a wizard in the world out there and in the world in the show at the same time.
Around 150 cast and crew members have been working non-stop for months on end to put this world-class show together. And although it's full steam ahead now, the show had to be put on hold when the quakes hit.
We were going to stage it in 2011, but a few wee shakes got in the way of that one. We were all geared up. We were just about to shift into the Isaac Theatre Royal and had all our signs up outside the theatre. But then, of course, the whole city came to a grinding halt.
But now they're back, and some of the original cast members are too.
A few of the people that were in the 2011 production have returned for this one, but the original designs by Harold Moot were going to be used for that show, so it is a reborn show.
The musical is a complete mashup from both the award-winning Broadway production hitting the stage a decade ago and from the movie Monty Python and the Holy Grail, first screening 40 years ago.
We're all geared up. We're getting to the sticky point right now. We're in our technical rehearsals, shift into the theatre on Sunday. Got a lot of elements to bring together. There are many hours in the theatre with lighting and all the set pieces, which take a lot of bringing together, but can't wait till opening night.
Something he says is great for the region.
And I think it's fantastic that something that was going to happen in 2011 has come back. It's the first time that Spamalot has ever appeared in Christchurch. It is a world-class show.
And consequently, the opening night lands on the anniversary of the first major earthquake nearly 5 years ago.
For us, it's a celebration. It's a celebration of the city returning to joy, bringing laughter into the occasion, and just really celebrating that we've got this magnificent theatre rebuilding in the Isaac Theatre Royal. Our city would be so much poorer if we didn't have that venue.
People need a damn good laugh, and I don't think there's been a funnier show in the whole of the history of Christchurch. There couldn't have been.
It's less than a week to go before the curtain call, with opening night next Friday night. Jared McCulloch, CTV News.
A bill allowing bars to open and serve alcohol at any time of the morning during Rugby World Cup games has passed. It was brought into law last night by 99 votes to 21. Bars can open up until an hour before each televised game, but must stop serving 30 minutes after each match. However, the legislation isn't without some restrictions. There can be no outdoor speakers, no discarding of empty bottles, good luck with that, no use of outdoor courtyard areas, and police must be given at least 7 days' notice of the event. So today's CTV News took to the streets to find out what the public really thinks about that decision.
What do you think about, for the Rugby World Cup, bars opening later?
I'm quite happy about it. I mean, as long as they don't make a pig of themselves and cause rumpus after. But if people want to get out, watch rugby with a group of other people, good idea.
No, don't go along with it. No way.
Why not?
Be trouble, big trouble. Well, I would say the majority of them are only going to be there for drinking. They'll miss the rest.
I reckon it's pretty good.
You know, it's passed today.
Has it? Sweet.
Will you be out drinking?
Maybe.
Well, in a way, I think it's probably a good thing as long as there's a tight rein kept on what the customers are drinking.
How much they're consuming.
Absolutely, yeah. Because you don't want to get it out of control, it could get ugly.
I don't really know, to be honest. Kind of a good thing, kind of a bad thing.
You can see both ways.
Yeah, like sort of good for business, but it's kind of silly to change what's already in play.
Did you know that they've gone ahead with it today?
Yeah.
No good.
Nothing we can do about it, is there?
Yeah, I'm a bit sad they open later, but if some people don't have access to Sky TV, I think perhaps that's okay.
It doesn't bother me in the slightest, but I still think alcohol's the worst drug in the world. So
it's a good thing.
That they're allowed to open it later?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I'm all for it. Why not?
You know, it's passed today.
Oh, really? So it's happening. Oh, that's good. I'm happy about that. I feel like the people need somewhere to go. Why not go to bars and pubs in town? There's no real housing around there. So, yeah, as long as it's not bothering anyone, why not?
They should sit at home and watch it on TV like I do.
And still to come here on CTV News, your local weather forecast. An update on some stories we brought you earlier this week. Police have named the passenger who died in the car crash on Tasman Valley Road on Monday. She was 18-year-old Rebecca Townsend from Dunedin. Her death has been referred to the coroner as police continue their investigations into the crash. And a young man has been referred to youth services after an alleged indecent assault in Waltham on Tuesday night. Some sports news for you now, and a third round of the ITM Cup rugby competition sees a heavyweight rivalry take place in Canterbury, travelling north to take on Auckland. Gordon Finlater caught up with the team at today's training.
Eden Park will be the venue on Saturday afternoon when Canterbury look to continue their unbeaten run in this season's campaign. Faced with the challenge of Auckland on their home turf, Coach Scott Robertson has talked about the importance in these rivalry matches.
Oh, look, we talked to you a little bit around the history and the great matches and the rivalry they've had over the years, and they're well aware of, the intensity and the history. So, look, the older guys have mentioned how much it means to us and both teams, and a couple of years ago, a bit more to Auckland.
Last weekend saw Canterbury get their second win from 2 attempts. However, it did come with a cost. Centre Jack Goodhue is out with a potentially nasty injury. Not much is known about his situation though, as the team awaits scans. Not even our top rugby players can skip the system.
ACC. Yeah, just one. Can I say that, Juliet? Yeah, I have ACC. Oh, just timing, we're just in the queue. Yeah.
The loss of Goodhue won't be of too much concern this week, with Robertson's backline featuring the centre combination of All Blacks Tom Taylor and Ryan Crotty.
He does give us that experience and these tough matches, and they've always been really tight, tough matches against Auckland. We've gone for that experience.
A player returning to the Canterbury lineup with a wealth of experience is Cam McIntyre. The 34-year-old played for Canterbury between 2001 and 2006, and after a long stint overseas, will make his anticipated return to the red and black this weekend. It's been so long, in fact, though, that he was left struggling to recall his last outing at Eden Park.
No, I don't actually. No, I don't think I do.
How does it feel for that, first game back in the starting lineup?
Yeah,
to be against Auckland.
Feels good. I was just thinking. I just remember sitting there seeing. I think it was last time I remember was it Chris, Jack, and Carlos that had a bit of a spat on Eden Park, and I think they both got bitten. That was the last thing that popped into my head.
More renowned for his play at first and second five, McIntyre says he's comfortable with the role at fullback that he's been assigned for this weekend.
My last sort of year or so in France, I spent the last sort of 7 or 8 rounds at fullback there for a while, so I haven't played any fullback in Japan, but with the way the game's played now, 10 drops to fullback a lot of the time with the kicking he does and things, so there's nothing too unfamiliar there at all.
McIntyre will be aiming for a solid return to New Zealand rugby, and he is hoping he can create some memorable moments at Eden Park. Gordon Findlater, CTV Sport.
And now here's your weather.
Good evening, Canterbury. Today we had a beautiful Thursday with sunny skies and light winds, sea breezes for some. Today's highs first up, 12 degrees for everyone in South Canterbury apart from Twizel. You were on 8 today. Central Canterbury, temperatures were a little bit warmer than first predicted, 14 degrees for Christchurch and Darfield, 13 there for Akaroa, Leeston, Ashburton, and 11 for you, Methven. Heading further north, 14 degrees was also shared by Kaikoura, Cheviot, Hamner Springs, Rangiora and Oxford, 15 degrees for Amberley and Culverden. And over to the Alpine region, 7 degrees for Lake Tekapo and 8 for you, Arthur's Pass. Looking good for the end of the week for Timaru, 12 degrees is expected for your high, cloudy skies, could be a few showery patches in the evening with 5 degrees for your morning high. And Ashburton, 13 degrees for you, northerly winds, again could be a little bit soggy in the afternoon and evening, but we're expecting cloudy skies mostly during the day. Christchurch, a similar picture here, but 15 for your high and 7 for your morning. Quite a nice warm morning for a change. And Kaikoura, 15 degrees here and cloudy skies and sunshine for you. The rest of the Canterbury region can also expect similar temperatures and cloudy skies. Northerly winds here for all of South Canterbury and could be a little bit of rain there for Twizel. Central Canterbury, again we're seeing these northerly winds for Akaroa and Methven. Could be a few scattered showers in the afternoon and evening for these places. Darfield, you're actually on 15 degrees tomorrow. Heading further north, sunny skies here, particularly sunny for Cheviot and Culverden. You're both on 16 degrees, taking out the region's high tomorrow. Everywhere else we're seeing 15 degrees. And over to the Alpine region, a little bit of rain here and Lake Tekapo, 9 degrees for you. The weekend looking not too bad actually. We thought it was going to be looking worse yesterday, but we are seeing a few fine spells in the afternoon, particularly for Christchurch and Kaikoura. Scattered rain though in the morning. Flipping over to Sunday, southeasterly winds coming in on Sunday and could be a little bit cooler. We're seeing that rain there, particularly heavy in the evening. The rest of the Canterbury region can also expect a little bit of occasional rain on Saturday. Could be scattered throughout the day, but hopefully seeing a few fine breaks, particularly for North Canterbury Canterbury in the afternoon and evening. And flipping over to Sunday, again these southeasterly winds, they're really present for everyone on Sunday. We are seeing that rain particularly come through in the afternoon and evening and could be quite heavy for the Canterbury foothills. So over the next few days, it's not actually looking as bad on the weekend as we've had first predicted. There could even be a few fine breaks in the afternoon on Saturday and in the morning on Sunday. And that's the weather for Thursday.
Thanks, Mercy, and that is your local news service for Thursday night. Have a good evening.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.